It's May 26th. It's 12:41. I was just on Twitter looking at other things, and then Ray Liotta's name popped up in the corner with two of his titles under it, and I'm like, oh no, please. I like Ray Liotta, but this is one of those people that I think even I did this. They don't get enough credit, and I feel like I was following on Twitter. I don't know that he has a Twitter, but I was following him on something. And even in these moments, I feel bad that I never, not that anybody reads those things, not that they're not handled by other people, but when somebody passes away, I feel bad if I didn't say, how great I thought they were. And like I said, he never got the credit he deserved. Now, I just wanted to look at the IMDb page real quick and look at, he's been acting since forever. I'm trying to remember because I just saw this, so I'm just like, I can't believe I didn't say anything. Or, you know what I mean? I must have said something, probably like if they tweet something once in a while, I'll tweet something back in response to what they say, but I always end up feeling bad that I don't say, hey, you were great in this, or, you know what I mean? Because especially the ones who didn't get the credit, and I don't think he got the credit. I don't know what his history was in terms of any nominations and stuff like that, but I'm fairly certain he hadn't won an Academy Award or anything like that. And the last thing off the top of my head that I really remember watching him in and thinking he was awesome in, he may have gotten some kind of award for that, I'm not sure, was that J-Lo series, Shades of Blue, which was actually really good. It was a normal, I think NBC TV show, like a cop show, but I really enjoyed it, and he was amazing in it. But, of course, I'm at a certain age. I remember all the way back to the 80s, and I hadn't seen Field of Dreams until not that long ago, so that wasn't the first thing I saw him in. Let me check the page. Yeah, okay, it was Something Wild. I knew it was one of those strange movies. Then right after that, I'm seeing Dominic and Eugene, which was him and Tom Hulse. That was really good. So that's probably the one that I really locked on and liked him from. Goodfellas, I'm just not a Scorsese fan. Yeah, he was great in it, but I don't like those kind of movies where the people are so gross, and that's why I really don't like, those characters were all horrible, and as not their portrayals, if those characters were real people, I'd be like, ugh, so that's what Scorsese tends to focus on, those kind of gross people, and that's why I generally don't like his movies, but of course he was great in it. Let me look at the rest. Okay, wait a minute. The one that really stuck out to me from years ago was Something Blue. I think it might have been Dark Blue. I have to go back and look. Or Narc. I always mix up Dark Blue and Narc. See, this is why I didn't want to go by my memory, which is shoddy. Going backwards up the page. Copland was great. Anybody who hasn't seen Copland, that's an unsung whole movie. Him and Stallone in that are great. And for Stallone, that was just really like an acting thing. And a lot of people think that's Stallone's best performance. So if you haven't seen Copland, check that out. But two of them were great in it. Great chemistry, too. No, okay, it was Narc. Because Narc and Dark Blue came out around the same time. They were both, the same kind of movie, but they were both really good. The other one, I think, is Kurt Russell. But, so Narc, if you haven't seen that, go watch Narc. So I'm not wanting to say, oh, this is my favorite performance or not, because I want to go back over the whole list. But I feel really bad. And apparently he just died in his sleep. That's what it's saying. And it was sudden, and he was actually working somewhere on something. So, you know what I mean? Unless it wasn't like he was sickly. And I thought of him as being really young, which, in terms of the people I grew up watching, 67 is really young. And it's really young for anybody to pass away. He seemed like a great guy, too. I just scrolled through a bunch of movies I didn't see, which is awful. Wow. But then I came upon Killing Them Softly, which was great, and with James Gandolfini and Brad Pitt, I believe. The Iceman, I'm wondering if that's the one with, what's his name? Michael Shannon. Yeah, it is. I did see it once, and I remember liking it, but now we're getting into that timeline where I don't remember. The newer things drop out of my mind. So I really can't remember that one too well, and I think I'll try to rewatch that if I can. Um, I don't want to play with the internet too much while I'm taping because then it gets sticky. For example, The Place Beyond the Pines, I saw in the theater, liked it a lot. Vaguely remember what happened in it. So the newer ones I'll have to rewatch because those are the things that leave my memory first. When you get older, and if you start to have cognitive issues, that's what goes. I believe I have cognitive issues, but I haven't been diagnosed with any. Okay, Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. I have to rewatch that. I know I've seen it, but I think it says the year. Is that 2000? That's the year that I got sick and almost died. So the closer things are to that year, the more I forget. This is why, and I'm not trying to make this about me. I just am explaining why I'm going through this list, and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember that. So I'll watch these newer ones again. But like I said, when he came back on Shades of Blue, I was like, yeah, he never got the credit he deserved. He's really awesome. I don't know. I guess you'll put him in sort of that Mickey Rourke, Alec Baldwin type of guy, big guy, good looking guy, tough, kind of have a New York way about them. I don't even know if those other two are from New York. I mean, Alex from Long Island, but you know what I mean? They have that tough exterior, but really, you know what I mean? Just good actors. They're just in that kind of wheelhouse, and I don't know. I don't know why he didn't get more credit, because the other two obviously did. Forgot he was in Kill the Messenger. I have often recommended that movie to people based on the story. But it was a good movie, and I liked it at the time. Again, this is around that time where I had an issue, so I forget things. But that was Jeremy Renner, and it's very much a movie everybody should watch, just based on the story. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but so I got to go back and watch his newer stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I haven't seen because my circumstances, I don't have the money, I don't have all the channels and stuff. But I feel really bad. I feel really bad because he was. I'm already saying was. I hate doing that. He just seemed like a really cool guy, watching him in interviews and stuff like that. I know that, speaking of Alec Baldwin, after the Rust incident, a lot of people didn't want to say anything, but he came right out and said how wrong that was, and, he seemed like a cool person. He seemed like a nice guy and an honest person. Like I said, sometimes somebody's stature, the way they look, at the kind of people they play, you don't really, unless you watch a million interviews, and I don't necessarily think he was doing interviews all the time, but when he did, he seemed like a nice guy. You could see the little kid, you know what I mean, like when he would smile or laugh or something, he had those really twinkly eyes. So it's just, I mean, I hope he got everything he wanted. I also get that vibe of, like, again, like the Mickey Rourke types, where maybe they didn't get the credit they deserved, or I don't know if he had the career he wanted. He kept working the whole time, but there are a lot of people who have everything in there. They've got their A-listers for no good reason, with no talent and stuff like that. And I'm thinking of those people in comparison to the people who really should be, the ones that are celebrated all the time and stuff like that. And he should have been celebrated. And I feel really bad hearing this. And I feel lousy that I've forgotten movies that I'd seen. But like I said, it's a lifetime thing. But for me, like, if I'm thinking about it right now, like I said, I remember being so super impressed with Narc. And like I said, he was really great on Shades of Blue not that long ago. And those are probably two people haven't seen so much. Dominic and Eugene is another great one for people to watch if they haven't seen it. I'll put those trailers on here. And I feel really bad. It said he had a daughter, and he was with his girlfriend or whatever. So I feel bad for his family and his friends and all his fans. And like I said, just looking at his list, he's worked with so many people. I don't know if he was friends with them or not, but for his co-stars, if I don't know. I would think that him and Jennifer must have got along, because they were really together all the time. So on that show, so that's it's really sad. It's really sad, and so my thoughts for all his family and everything.